Is the real estate market finally cooling off? Find out right now. Hey, if you're a homeowner, investor, or interested in buying property here in South Louisiana, we have all the data you need. I'm Jay Ray with Keaty Real Estate, and this is your market update. So far, year-to-date in 2022, Lafayette has experienced a 3.2% decrease in sales. That's only 55 less sales than reported in the first 4 months of 2021. However, April alone is reporting a 21% decrease year over year with 99 less sales. As you can see in this next chart, although Lafayette Parish reported fewer sales this April, that is still significantly more sales than the average sales for April going back to 2012, showing signs that demand is still very strong. In this next graph, you can see that Lafayette Parish reported a 4.2% increase in dollar volume sold for the first 4 months of this year. However, we are showing signs of slowing. The MLS reported a 14% decrease in dollar volume sold in April year over year, with 16 million less in dollar volume versus April 2021. However, April 22 is still the second highest producing month, only behind April 2021. Conclusion: the demand is still at record high, but is cooling off. And with interest rates rising, we are seeing signs of the market slowing down. The big news this year in Lafayette Parish is they reported 11% fewer new listings entering the market in 2022 versus last year. And April alone reported 26% fewer new listings entering the market compared to April of 2021. With demand still strong and less new listings coming into the market, the overall supply is suffering. Not only did we list fewer homes when compared to last year, we listed fewer homes compared to every April from the last decade. In this next chart, you'll see where we compare the first 4 months of 2022 to 2021. The MLS reported a 23% decrease in overall listings available compared to last year. This is massive and is pointing to strong demand and lack of new supply. We continue to see this trend holding for April's numbers as well, with 14% fewer new listings in April 2022 versus April of last year, putting even more pressure on our inventory. So although we reported 21% fewer sales in April, we saw 26% fewer homes come onto the market, contributing to a 14% decrease in overall actives available. So what I'm seeing is fewer new listings come onto the market compared to last year, but the demand is still absorbing the inventory faster than homes are becoming available. This lack of supply is influencing our days on market for listings. They have decreased from 52 days to an average of 28 days this year. That's a 47% decrease in days on market year over year. We can conclude that we need more listings to hit the market to satisfy the demand. Until we have more inventory, our prices will continue to rise. Overall, it's a seller's market, and it's a great time to sell. With high demand and low supply, prices will continue to increase even though interest rates are rising. The big news right now is the rising mortgage rates. So let's take a look at what mortgage rates have been doing so far this year. Mortgage rates continue to climb this month as the 30-year fix reaches its highest point since 2009. Interest rates started at 3.11% in January, and at the end of April, they are over 5% and climbing. So why are interest rates rising? Inflation is driving the increase in mortgage rates. The experts are predicting that rates will continue to rise, but likely at a more moderate pace. You can follow the weekly average 30-year and 15-year fixed interest rates at FreddieMac.com. So the big question people have been asking is, what will happen to home prices as interest rates rise? Well, most people think as rates rise, prices will go down, but here's some data from Freddie Mac. What you're looking at here is the impact of rising rates on home prices when they are rising by more than 1 percentage point. Going back to 1993, you can see that the data shows on average an 8% increase in home values when interest rates increase more than 1%. Overall, you see that rising interest rates do not have a negative impact on home prices over the last 4 decades. But what would happen to our sales when you have over 1% increase in interest rates? When we add sales data to this chart, you can see an average decrease of 5% in sales overall. As rates rise, that tends to reduce buyers' activity and price some people out of the market. We're in a fundamentally different environment than what we've had in the past. When inventory is low, home prices will continue to rise. Inventory still is very low, and that's driving the rising home prices. So although we expect the interest rates to continue to rise, we also expect them to rise at a slower pace than what we've seen in the last few weeks. Another question many of our clients is asking is, how will that affect my monthly payment? In this next chart, we'll compare the monthly payments for a $250,000 loan as the interest rates rise. You can see that when you have an increase in interest rates from 3% to 3.5%, your note will increase from $1,054 to $1,123. That's a $69 increase. And when rates increase from 3% to 4%, your note will increase $140. And when interest rates increase from 3% to 5%, your note will increase by only $288 to $1,342. So, although it will knock some buyers out of the market from being able to buy or afford a home, it's still very affordable, and usually the impact is not as bad as most people may think. Mortgage rates increase will slow some of the frenzy, but we're not talking about a depression. We're talking about a softening and deceleration, which will slow some of the buyers as we move forward in the housing market. The current lack of inventory is contributing to a seller's market. The average price for April this year has increased from $246K to $270K. That's an 8% increase year over year. Let's take a look at this next graph from Home Price Forecast for 2022. I think it will give you a very good picture as to where home prices will be according to the experts. Here you can see the average of 7 experts predicting home values to increase 6.7% this year. So, as you can see, all signs point to prices continue to rise, but at a slower pace. Lafayette Parish has experienced a 19% decrease in pending sales in April. That is 93 pendings less than last year. So it looks like, although we had a record-breaking first quarter in closings and volume, the pendings seem to have cooled off. This means we should expect the same or slightly fewer closings in the next 30 to 60 days compared to last year. However, when we're looking at the numbers of pendings for April going back to 2012, you can see that we are below last year, but well above the average numbers of pendings for any other April. And although pendings have cooled, demand continues to hold strong. In fact, MLS reported that over 23% of homes sold in April sold above list price. This is more than double the average over the last decade, indicating a very strong demand for housing and a short supply of homes for sale. When you look at our inventory levels going back to 2012, you can see that we're in an all-time low in months of inventory, meaning there is more demand than supply, and that will continue to put pressure on home prices to rise. So although rising interest rates will tame some of that demand, until our months of supply exceeds 5 months, we will continue to see home prices increase. And with inventory at an all-time low, could the low pendings just be a result of low inventory and supply? Which brings up these questions. Would we have placed more homes in pending status in April if we had more homes available to sell? I can testify that my team and I are working hard to find more listings for our clients. If there were more homes on the market, I am certain we would have reported more pending sales in April of 22 versus 2021. So it seems like we're dealing with a supply shortage more than a demand shortage. But we will have to see how this plays out over the next 90 days. I hope you found this information valuable. If you'd like to receive these monthly market reports, or if you'd like a free market analysis on your property, I'd love to help. Stay tuned next week when I'll break down May's sales and volume. I'm Jay Ray with Keaty Real Estate. Thank you for watching.
That's